Satnam, good morning on this beautiful Sunday morning here on the southern edge. I'm just here. I wanted to share with you guys InBody Cosmology practice session for this time that we're in. So while we're on the Virgo Pisces axis and leading into the new moon on the 17th and then the equinox on the 22nd, it's a great opportunity to clear some stuff out of the system. Virgo also is a mutable sign, so it's like I said, in that liminal space. Both like Pisces and Virgo, they're on the mutable axis, and it's just such a good time. Death, delivery, right? Delivery and death, similar things. We have generating, organizing, destroying. The cardinal signs generate, the fixed signs organize, and the mutable signs deliver, or also represent that dying, that death force. But we need that, right? Because it's through that dying that feeds everything else. So, and we open up new energy. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about basically, like reality versus non-reality, and all things coming at you are energy, negative, positive, it doesn't really matter. It's our ability to flip it and utilize it. And I wanted to talk about reality, non-reality, just because that's a really, it's a powerful tool if you can look at your life right now and see where you're losing energy and where you're getting energy. And that's the way that you tell reality versus non-reality. If it's a reality, you will find that the moment you're in that or whatnot, like for example, I'm really passionate about food or passionate about, yogic science or different things like that. It's like what I'm passionate about, it just automatically, the energy surges up for me from, I don't know where, but it just starts coming through me, versus the things that we get in our neurotic patterns and whatnot, where it's really just, it's a non-reality and it's so draining. And that's how you know it's a non-reality, is that it just is just draining the life force out of you and you feel exhausted afterward. And so we want more reality and less non-realities in our life. And this, while we're on the Virgo Pisces axis, that's the perfect point, perfect time. Virgo is reality, Pisces is a lot of non-realities, both, again, the seed of each is another. So, Virgo can become too obsessive and neurotic, OCD, see things that aren't there, get a little bit too, lost or in the detail, just and fixated on the detail that doesn't really matter or have anything to do with anything, and Pisces can just get kind of lost in a lot of mirages, but is also really good with going with the flow. So, and where the energy is going. So it's like they both have those really, Virgo, that discernment, and Pisces, that ability to go with the flow. It's like we want the best of those worlds right now. And so we want to go in and root out the non-realities and really be able to look at where is that not working, where are we losing energy, and how can we kind of like draw ourselves in from it. And don't put ourselves in that, pull back the magnetic field, and don't get entangled and interlocked in it. So there's two practices I have. One is fists, and they're both only 3 minutes each. One's fists of anger. One is addiction meditation, and I would really recommend doing them for this time. Right now it's the 11th day of the moon yesterday, it's 12th day of the moon today. It's like we'll be leading, I think you have like 10 days if you started today, to lead to the 22nd, and which is the equinox. So that would be a great time to like practice over those days leading up to, from now until the equinox. Equally, like the new moon is on the 17th, so you could start practicing anywhere before. Like I generally tend to follow practices at least 40 days, if not more, although sometimes I do shorter ones that are only like a 10-day, 11-day, kind of power punch, kind of 1 2 1 2. No, but anyway, so you could do it either for that 10-day lead up, and that would have a profound impact, or you could do it for like from the new moon to the next. It's you go through new moon to new moon and then to the full moon. So that would be 42 days. And that would be really potent as we go from, again, this mutable space into the cardinal, push of spring, that thrust that comes both in spring and fall. And that would be a great way to work on dismantling these things. So it's all about getting more energy, really. And that's what I want for everybody, so that we can increase our capacity continually, and be continuous. So the fists, I'll go through in the video how you do fists of anger and how you do the addiction meditation. Fists of anger clears the arc line. It's really powerful. Women have arc line from breast to breast, and also we all have, of course, the halo. This is like our desktop. It's our computer screen. It's our GPS navigation system as well. So, but it's also where things get kind of stuck. And we run the material over and over and over. So when we do anything that's over the head like this, we're clearing all that crap out of the auric field, essentially. And it's just a form of hygiene. Just like we would brush our teeth, just like we go to the toilet. We want to clear our arc line every day, preferably morning and night. Because stuff, we have the subconscious stuff hanging in that space in the morning. And then as we go through the day, we collect various things, depending, from other people. And we want to, clear it out again before we go to sleep. Or in the evening sometime, like even before dinner, leading in. It's really nice so we don't kind of bring our day and anything that we're irritated about to our children or our other loved ones. So that's kind of the fists of anger one, and it's a perfect way, we're using the energy of the diagonal, right? This diagonal energy cuts the square, okay? I can't really do a square, but yeah, that diagonal energy cuts the energy of the square, and that's, it's also the diagonal energy is called the tantric energy, and we're wanting, again, we cut through the blocks. So fists of anger is fantastic for that, and anytime you're upset, these emotions, we want to be able to use them. It's all energy. So it's a matter of just channelizing, getting it unstuck, moving it out of those spaces. And it's a practice I'm especially giving right now, this month. And really, again, this one you could do through the year. But Mars is in Aries, has come in Aries, and now Mars is also retrograde. And it's just going to be hitting points over and over and over. Mars normally does not spend 6 months in a sign whatsoever. I think it usually only takes like a month to go through, or less. So it's really hanging out. And being retrograde, that drills down, the energy really drills down. It goes back over degrees. When it stations and sits on them, it really drills down into them, and then it goes back over those degrees. And then when it goes forward, it goes back over those degrees again. So in other words, Mars has come over those degrees. Now it's going to, and then stations, and then it goes back over the same, and then it will go forward again. And we get the opportunity basically to revisit that material or those, those things that we need to review multiple times. We get a chance to redo it and re-go over it. But so the fists of anger is just a way to keep us from getting stuck and keep that energy moving. Because when we get stuck and things like that, then we're really aggro and we tend to, bite people, lash out at people. And we don't need to be doing that right now. We always want to use Mars. Mars is right action. So, and when it's retrograde, some people, we can consider that it's more powerful. So in some ways you can get a lot more done now, especially like I said, because we're going back over something we've missed. So you have that real good opportunity. So make the most of it. So this practice, definitely over this next month, but you could do it through the whole year, 40 days, 90 days, just through the rest of the year, equinox to solstice, whatever suits. I love it for my children, my boys as well, because we just keep that energy moving, and from getting to, shitty with our own emotions. Anyhow, so that's that one. And it'll really energize you 3-minute pranayama. And then there's the addiction meditation, and this is super powerful. So I did that, you know, yeah, we use the primal sounds, sa, ta, na, ma. That's the 5 elements. So t, n, m, and then the ah, which is the ether. So create, you know, expanding and creating space and all those. But those primal sounds, when we vibrate those, it really gets us back to our elementary personality and really just cuts through. Again, the SHIT. So this one, and again, 3 minutes, super powerful medicine. I used it actually when I quit smoking. That was the thing that, you know, I just did it a couple times, and literally the thing just like, it was like an entity just like fell off, something just fell off my back. And I was like, oh, what was that? And, you know, I used to just really struggle really hard with my will, pushing through everything to make it happen. And doing that meditation, it just, you know, the roots came out, things slid off, dead, and never hasn't touched me since, you know. And that's years later, 3 years, 4 years now, you know. Really something that I struggled with for decades, yeah, and other addictions as well. So it's really, really powerful. And any kind of addictive thought pattern, any kind of you know, addictive habit, physical habit, you know, that we're doing, emotional habit, mental habit, that's the one. I quickly transitioned from that to Kirtan Kriya, which is again sa, ta, na, ma. We're working with those 5 elements in the different quadrants of the brain. But anyway, this one will really clear the neuro pathway. So it's a dismantling of the kind of the neuro pathways that are running that are no longer serving you. And it gives you that opportunity, like I said, to get back to the elementary personality and to build on that. Okay, so let's get to, that's the introduction.